Hi, my name is Ashley Victoria Robinson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley V. Robinson, and I am here to share with you 5 movies that you can binge right now. This video is brought to you by Majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where we love comics and we know that you do too. For all kinds of content to fill your time, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, or if you visit the Major Spoilers website, we have podcasts, articles, videos, and so much more. At the time we're making this video, a lot of people are stuck inside, and so a lot of us are consuming more media. So I wanted to give you some options on great things that you could watch while you're stuck indoors. Number 1, Goldfinger, the iconic James Bond movie. The powerful tycoon Auric Goldfinger has initiated Operation Grand Slam, a cataclysmic scheme to raid Fort Knox and obliterate the world economy. James Bond, armed with his specially equipped Aston Martin, must stop the plan by recovering several outrageous adversaries. Goldfinger is considered by many people to be the first and most iconic James Bond movie that went forward to shape the rest of the franchise. It is a 60s movie starring the OG James Bond, Sean Connery. I think if you have any interest in James Bond, whether that's the comics, the books, or the movies, if you're excited for an upcoming James Bond movie, or if you are an action movie fan, this is a great option. There are places where you can find it streaming for free. There's places where you can rent it very affordably. I also think that it's good in this time to explore more of the film landscape. Watch a movie from before you were born. And I'm sure for a lot of people watching this, the 1960s were before you were born. Goldfinger stands up as an icon of this franchise, an icon of this genre, and once you watch it, so many more things will make sense to you. Your horizons will be open about the franchise and about parodies of the franchise from this point forward. Can't recommend enough. Goldfinger is a fabulous watch. Up next, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, an anthology of 6 short films that take place in 19th century post-Civil War era during the settling of the Old West. This is a Netflix original. It came out a couple years ago at the time of this recording and really took fans by storm. The Western genre is, like comic books, iconically American, one of the only art forms that we created by ourselves along with comics and jazz. Westerns are so cool when they can be done right. And modern Westerns often have a lot to say because they have so many years of history built up behind them up to this point. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is an anthology, and it deals with so many things across the Western genre. If you're familiar with Westerns, you're getting everything from a singing cowboy to a supernatural thriller. If you're not as familiar with Westerns, this will open up your horizon, and if you do a little bit of research, you can find what inspired each different story. There are 6 anthology stories. I think anyone could go through and rank them in your preferred order, but I think they are all valid. I think they're all amazing, and they all have something interesting to say about the genre and something interesting to say about filmmaking. Netflix has put out a lot of incredible original content since its inception. I think The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is definitely up there and is one of my favorites. Cloverfield. This is the original 2008 Cloverfield, but if you like it, please include some of the sequels. As a group of New Yorkers enjoy a going-away party, little do they know that they will soon face the most terrifying night of their lives. A creature the size of a skyscraper descends on the city, leaving death and destruction in its wake. Cloverfield is a genre of movie that I really like, that you can sort of sum up as kaiju movies or giant monster movies, as set up by Godzilla and his clan of creatures, and has kind of been trickling through popular culture ever since then. Cloverfield really gave the genre a shot in the arm, is a great Western offering to this genre, and is a movie that I think not enough people saw. You might have heard the rumor about the shaky cam. There is a lot of handheld and shaky cam in this. I don't find it too overwhelming. I was able to watch the movie and really enjoy it. What I like about Cloverfield is it sets up such an interesting mythos for the world. So if you watch this first one and you dig it like I did, there are 2 subsequent movies that you can go and check out that will follow up and build on in different ways, some more successfully than others, this original story. If nothing else, this is a great one-off action movie. It's really self-contained, and it's really smart filmmaking. If you like filmmaking, if you like storytelling, watch Cloverfield and see the economy of storytelling. It definitely leans on a Jaws tradition of don't show us the monster until absolutely necessary, and I think that is a great strength of it. I think it's inventive. I think it's fun. I think anyone who likes genre fiction will get a kick out of Cloverfield. Must watch. Then we have Crazy Rich Asians. Rachel Chu is happy to accompany her longtime boyfriend Nick to his best friend's wedding in Singapore. She's also surprised to learn that Nick's family is extremely wealthy and he's considered one of the country's most eligible bachelors. I had to put a romantic comedy on here. And if you're not looking forward to that, I would encourage you to still stick around, hear what I have to say, and even check out this movie. I like romantic comedies, but I'm not crazy about them like some people are, and I think Crazy Rich Asians is awesome. I guarantee you heard about this movie because it made such a splash when it came out, and it kind of took the world by storm. It's based on a trilogy of books that are awesome. I highly recommend the books, but this is the movies video. Crazy Rich Asians definitely follows the steps of a romantic comedy. If you took any kind of writing class, if you are a writer yourself, you are familiar with them. But it's sensitive against an interesting background and a culture that we're not as familiar with in the Western Hollywood system, and it rocks. Plus, everyone working in this movie knows that they are a part of something special, so I really think you can feel the love on all levels and the energy coming through the screen. I found this movie beautiful. I found it delightful. I am dying for the sequel to come out. Henry Golding is just an absolute star in this. Genre star Michelle Yeoh shows up. I think Crazy Rich Asians is super, super fun. And if you're looking for a little bit of levity, this is a great way to kind of break up some of the previous recommendations I've made that are a little more serious in tone. Crazy Rich Asians, super accessible, super fun. And if you dig it, you have more content to explore afterward. And my last recommendation is going to be Hero. In this visually arresting martial arts epic set in ancient China, an unnamed fighter played by Jet Li is honored for defeating 3 of the king's most dangerous enemies. So I had to put a foreign film on here. I said if I was gonna put an older film to encourage you to check out different things in film history, I wanted to put a foreign language film to encourage you to check out cinema that's not just made in the Hollywood machine, and Hero is one of my favorites. This is a Jet Li driven project, although if you've watched Crazy Rich Asians right before this, or if you're familiar with some wushu movies, you are going to see so many faces that you know from so many things in this movie. It's based on a Chinese folktale / legend, so it definitely plays on some of the fantasy elements. So if you're done, if you've watched Cloverfield and you're like, this sci-fi was great, thank you so much, Hero's a great fantasy answer to that. Everyone in the cast is a very, very capable combatant, so the fights are like next level awesome. If you love the fights in Daredevil, if you love the fights in Arrow, this will blow your mind. This is the kind of bar that we were looking for when Iron Fist was made. This is what we're going to be hoping for when Shang-Chi comes out. If you look into the Badlands, Hero is for you. Plus, because it is a piece of folklore / a legend, the tone is very, very serious. Nothing here is tongue-in-cheek. There's no winking like there is in Ballad of Buster Scruggs. This is telling you the story, and it is very, very serious. I almost recommended Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but I think that's the more well-known foreign movie. I think Hero is the one that's less well-known, but maybe actually a little bit better. If you want to argue with me in the comments, totally go for it. Or you can go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where we love comics, and we know that you do too. Comment, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you watched any of these, what you would recommend people checking out. You can also share your thoughts with me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley V. Robinson. I have been Ashley Victoria Robinson. I hope you enjoyed these recommendations. I'd love to know if you checked any of them out. Talk to you later. Be safe and make good choices.